Alrighty, guys. Happy Saturday. It's your boy Stas here. I got some time on my hands. Wife's out of town, so I figured, hey, let's break down Palantir, go over the charts, go over my thoughts, see how last week played out, because I don't think I made an update on Thursday or Friday. Maybe I did on Thursday. I forget. Either way, it's been a couple of days since our last update, and we have to do an update on the charts. We'll go over some other stocks, maybe the indices, my thoughts across the board, guys. So hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Join the Patreon, guys, and the free email stock newsletter. All those links are down below. And with that being said, cheers. Take a sip of your water. Don't worry, we got the coffee on deck as well. Cheers, guys. And now let's dive into it. So Palantir actually had a red day on Friday after the entire stock market in the United States had a green day. The S&P went up 0.6%. Same with the Dow, QQQ 0.4. Let's see, the Russell went up, 1%. So the Russell is, ripping as of Friday. And Palantir went down about 0.91%. Not a big deal, but interesting nonetheless, again, considering we had a green day overall, and Palantir was actually up, it looks like, in the pre-market. We hit over $181 on Friday in the pre-market, and then we collapsed pretty much at open. We went down to 175, so we dumped a good 3.5% there. And on the 30-minute chart, you guys can see, and really you can see it on the 5-day, last week we downtrended subtly pretty much the entire week, lower lows, lower highs. And you can see it here if I get the handy dandy channel tool out. You guys can see it on the 30-minute chart. We actually are still in this little subtle downtrend, whatever you want to call it, right? Obviously, Palantir is still uptrending in the grand scheme of things, guys. But as of last week, this is where we're at. We're in this little subtle downtrending channel. Death cross on the 30-minute chart, on the 5-day, 5-minute chart as well. On the 1-hour chart, you guys can kind of see we're almost about to get a death cross. So at this point, Palantir, I think, is just subtly selling off. I keep saying subtle today. I don't know. Is that my word of the day or what? But I think we're just seeing, excuse me, guys, a little sell-off, all while maintaining the uptrend. On the 1-hour chart here, the bulls are clearly still in charge. It's pretty obvious that we got a little overbought. We hit 185 after just being at 148 in the beginning of this month. You guys have to realize on the 5th of September, Palantir was at $148. So we went up a good $40 a share in the span of 2 weeks, and now it's just cooling off. It looks good. It looks really good on the charts. And you can see we kind of have a wedge on the 1-hour time frame here. We're making these higher lows, but lower highs at the same time. And I think we're going to break out of here. I don't think Palantir is going to be, it's going to see too many more red days on green days. I don't think we're going to get too much more of that. But, we'll see. We'll see. And if we do see this, break out, see that wedge play out, where are we going? Well, it's pretty clear. The next gap to fill would be to about 189, 190, which is the all-time high from August. We hit that in August or in the beginning of August. So that is where we could go if this plays out. And at that point, guys, well, we take 190 out. I think we're going to 200. I said this before here on the channel. I'll say it again. I think there's a decent chance Palantir gets to $200 maybe this year. If we get this end of the year big breakout that I think we're going to get in the overall market, I think Palantir is going to set up for that. It's already kind of setting up for that. We're starting to see the momentum. The head and shoulders that once was about 2-3 weeks ago, that's out the window. We have a golden cross on the 4-hour chart. We're building up momentum. So clearly the writing's on the wall. We're starting to get the breakout. But obviously we have to take 185, 190 out, which we tried doing a couple days ago. We failed. But let's see this upcoming week, guys. If we're able to get that rebound back over 180, 185, 190, that's going to be a big spot. for the Bulls, right? So what do you guys think? That's pretty much it overall. And for me, guys, I'm in Palantir at $20 a share average cost. It's not saying that considering where we're at now. And I'm just holding. I'm just holding on tight. And I might, listen, if this thing breaks, like I said, if it goes to $200 by the end of the year, I mean, that would be a 10x essentially for me. I might take some more profits. This is one that I locked in some profits on a couple of months back, I think at 120, 125, and I haven't sold since, or I haven't locked in profits since. And I think, yeah, if we get that break past 190, we get that blow off top rally to 200, that in my eyes would be another great spot to trim a little bit. Because at the end of the day, guys, what do you do, or why do you invest? Why do you put money in stocks? Is it to be like, oh, look at my portfolio, it's so cool? Yeah, okay, so part of it could be that, but it's really to make money, to profit. That's why we buy stocks. And if you think about the overall stock market, why are you buying stocks? Really, it comes down to outpacing inflation. If you didn't buy stocks, if you didn't own any assets, well, the dollar's down 10% this year, you'd be in trouble, and the idea is, the whole point of the stock market is investing is to see how much of a return you can get. If you're buying individual stocks, preferably a lot higher of a return than the overall stock market. And the more of a return you get, right, the better, obviously. You know what I mean? But the point is, right, what I'm getting at is, yeah, if you're up a lot on a stock, don't be scared to lock in profits. Lock in those returns, because they're not realized gains until you actually sell. They're unrealized paper gains until you sell, which you guys know that. But, for those that don't, or maybe you weren't thinking about that, or weren't thinking about it like that, don't be scared to lock in profits, because, you never know what's going to happen, man. Sure, we think, or I think, I don't know what you guys think, but I think we're setting up for that end of the year rally. But what if we don't? What if we get a little pop to 190, it goes to 195 for a week or two, then it collapses 30%. We don't know. What if the market dumps into the end of the year and it takes Palantir down with it, or any other stock for that matter? Hey, that's why you got to lock in profits, where you see fit, So let me know your thoughts in the comments about that, guys. I don't want to ramble too much about that, but that's a quick rundown on PLTR. Let's see what other stocks moved. We might as well do a little rapid fire. So Palantir went down on Friday, but we had a lot of green. We had a lot of green in other stocks. Macy's, guys, ticker symbol M, broke out of $16.75, $17 a share, which you guys, you can see if I pull this up, that was a previous resistance, right? So we broke out of that, held it as support for a couple of months, or not months, weeks, really. All of September we've held 17.50 as support, and now Macy's is starting to break out again. This is good. We broke out a couple months or weeks ago, consolidated for a good couple of weeks, found that new support, and now we're building off of that, running even more. That goes to show the strength in this move, which is great. So I'm not, I don't own Macy's stock, but it's interesting right now as a trade. It's building up momentum. I feel like it could start pushing back to the low mid-20s. I feel like Macy's is heading in that direction, and we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. Ticker symbol M. I like the way the price action's looking. Let's see. GME also had a great day on Friday. GameStop, yes, I know, GameStop, guys. But this one had a 4.5% green day. Momentum's been building up. Volume's been picking up since earnings. And we have a cup and handle. I'm not sure if it's the cleanest cut ever, cup and handle. But we do have one here nonetheless on GME. And it looks like, we're now testing the highs from a couple days ago, trading days ago. We hit 27. That's been the high on GameStop. So I think if that is able to break on this one, we can see on the 1 hour chart, you can see that even better. If we're able to break $27, guys, $27.50, I think $30. Yeah, it's not too far-fetched in the short term. But if we hit 30 bucks, guys, yeah, at that point, each time we hit 30 bucks over the last year, pretty much, it's been a sell. It's a lot of selling comes at 30 bucks. It's a big resistance. We've seen it happen in February, in March, in April. Pretty much all these times we've hit 30 bucks, other than that one-off pop where we went to 37. Other than that, each time we hit 30, GameStop's tanked. So I think there could be more upside to 30. But then if we hit that, I'd be careful. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. Follow along for more content. And check out the Patreon for my portfolio updates. If you guys want to see what I'm doing, stocks I'm buying, the trades, weekly updates, that is linked down below. Or go to stassurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, guys, cheers. I'll catch you all in the next video.